An amalgam is a huge, shambling mass of dozens of bodies of infected fallen enemy warriors, insects, mammals, and any other living creatures that had the misfortune of succumbing to the agonizing blessings of the Black Grail together. These Shoggoths shamble These Shoggoths shamble across the battlefield like walking mountains of corpulent, diseased flesh, its flailing arms still wielding weapons its victims used in life. Anyone or anything unfortunate enough to be in its path is crushed into a disgusting pulp beneath its elephantine feet.
So this is, I mean, it's not the biggest one I've done so far. That's the Anchorite Shrine, but this is the one with the most parts for sure. So you've got his two arms. One is a mixture of weapons, like so, and an arm coming out firing a pistol. And then on this one, you've got the melee weapons, like so. And this is the bulk of him, and he is bulky. Look at that. Really looking forward to doing all the painting on this. And at the back, you've got a recess, and that's for his ammo box. His ammo box is actually embedded in his skin, as well as the rest. It kind of like goes in there like that, and then figure it comes up onto his guns like so. All right, so yeah, quite a size. You can tell there by the gas masks how big he is. In fact, let me just bring in a regular size troop, and you can see the size difference. So, got to have a look in my box of bases, my base box, and find a suitable size base for him. He stands up fine all by himself. Yeah, put him on a base, glue the arms and other bits on with super glue, prime him. I think I'm going to have to prime him in white and maybe a flesh shade over the top to help me out with all the skin tones. Okay, assembled and based. There's quite a gap there at the back of the arm, so I've put some green stuff. The ammo box snugly just fits in there all by itself, so I'm going to remove that for painting. And what we've got here is grey primer. Then over the top of that is a product I've never used before from Army Painter, Brain Matter Beige. All right, because that's a nice off-white. It's not as creamy as Wraithbone, which is what I was thinking about using, but it's just like a grey. It's an off-white with a bit of grey in it. That's a good basis for the skin. Okay, that's all the fleshy bits given a coat of gargoyle grey, and then I'm just going to lighten that up through the flesh tones and up into the greys. Rather pinker at the moment than the illustration would have it, but the enamel wash is going to get rid of that, I hope. So what we've got here is I built up the flesh tones. First of all, flayed one flesh, then mixed that with pallid witch flesh, then over that put on pallid witch flesh, then over that pallid witch flesh mixed with Athenian grey, and then finally just that grey. So I had it like a grey flesh tone, and then over that I then washed Soul Blight grey, thinned down with contrast medium, and then over that, this is the pinkiness, Caribou Crimson, thinned down. All right, and then I've just gone back in and dry brushed it all back up. It's looking very much like a blancmange at the moment, rather than some amalgam of flesh. But Next step is to start picking out all the open areas. I'm going to lighten them right up with flesh, so I can then put more blood in, right? Oh, and also the intestines. I've picked out in a mixture of the grey and the flayed one flesh to give me like a fleshy grey colour for the intestines. And for the intestines, I'm going to use a paint I've never used before, Vallejo's. It's a speed paint, Demonic Skin. So let's see how we get on with that. Okay, that's that colour applied. It's pretty nice. Quite happy with that. And you can see I put the red into all the open wounds. I'm now going to start blotching red all over, which you might think would be a bit too much, but with the enamel wash I'll finally be doing, I'll be doing it over everything except those entrails. So hopefully it won't be all very samey at the end. So I've picked out in white the gas masks and the skulls, and I've based in lead belcher all the weapons, but not these pieces, these flat metal panels. I'm going to do them solid rust. Hardly any metallic is going to be on them at all. And I've also got to do the tubes for the gas masks, but I've got to paint the gas masks first. So I'll come back with all them done, ready to apply the blood. Well, adding all these extra colours is starting to break the pink up quite a bit, which is what I want. So all the metallics have had Nuln Oil. The original illustration has it that they are all very rusty, so that's the next thing to attempt. There's the old rust on the metal plates. I've got to lighten them up and shade them now, pick out some more detail on the gas masks, put a wash on the tubes for the gas masks, and start highlighting. Yeah, having great fun doing this, and I'm looking forward to the gory bit. So I'm almost finished with rusting the metals up, trying to vary the colours and appearances of the rust. I've just got to break up some of these blank bits. I'm going to put a wash of watered down typhoid corrosion in those. Just got to pick out the lens details in the gas masks. Oh, and the other thing I've done is I've gone in with dried blood all around the areas where the metal is being fused to flesh. And once I've done those things I've just talked about, that's when I'm really going to go in with the fresh blood. Oh, I've given him an eyeball, by the way. Yeah, that's when I go in with the fresh blood, and this is when he's really going to start looking horrible. Gas masks are all done, and before I start putting the gore on, I've been thinking about the base, and this is quite a large base, so it's going to need a lot of stuff on it. So what we got here is a bit of rubber tank tread from a 1/35th scale model. I've drilled a number of holes because this is going to be a barbed wire fence, and the posts for the barbed wire fence will be cocktail sticks. I've got some World War II 1/35th scale artillery shells, an old wheel, and again a bit of foil from a wine bottle, which I'm going to cut up and have like mangled metal, like so. Great stuff, that. So I'm going to mangle this up, cut it to the right size I would like it to be, and then all of these get a coat of primer before I stick them to the base. Why do I get the feeling I'm in a butcher's shop right now? So yeah, had great fun applying this, all right, which is a lightish blood colour with little bits in. And as you can see, I've gone over all the open areas wherever something either is inserted into the skin or is coming out of the skin, where it's wrapped round things. Here I've got it as if something has ruptured, so we've got a stream of gore coming down, down and down. All right, and what I've done is I've gone around the whole thing. I've also done it on a lot on that blade, but just the tip of that one, that's a stabbing blade. All right, so yeah, I've varied the degree that I've put it on, and I put it on just with an old knackered brush whose bristles are splaying. And what I did is I didn't paint it on. I just did this, just starting off quite lightly and just get the area that I want, and then getting more on the brush and then dapple that in the middle. So yeah, the worst thing you can do is just have a completely red color. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to now wait for it all to dry, at least 24 hours. I know from past experience, if you try putting the enamel wash on before the paint is properly dry, you have problems. What I'm also going to do while I'm waiting is I'm going to put the ammo box in there like so. All right, so well underway, and the next step when I come back, hopefully the enamel wash has done its job and it doesn't look so much like a bloody pink blancmange. Okay, as you can see, the skin is no longer a blancmange, and that's because I've given it all a coat of Goon's Grime, which I'm still getting used to. I'm not experienced enough with yet to know just how much to put on and how much dabbing it's going to take to remove it. All right, which I'm just about to do. I've got to say, the only things I haven't really put the Goon's Grime over are the weapons, the eyeball, and those intestines, because I want them to stay nice and pink and bright, because I'm thinking that's going to stand out more. So I'm just about to start dabbing it off. I'm going to try first with a cotton bud, a dry cotton bud, but in places I'm going to put a bit of white spirit on the cotton bud. And the other thing is, you can see I've put a bit of scatter material all around the base, and that's because I found out that any enamel wash, when it's dry, there's still a very slight tackiness to, and I've found that if I then base a figure that's been painted with that right down to their feet, the scatter material can stick to the legs. I mean, it's all right, it rubs back off, but I just thought last night before going to bed, I might as well put some material around it first. All right, so I'm going to start dabbing, and I will return dabbed. That's better. That's much more like what I was seeing in my head. So very pleased with that. So I can move on. I've just been painting the scattered material that I put down for ease of painting when I put the debris, which I'm in the process of painting. Once I've glued them on, it's going to be easier than trying to get past them to get into that area. So yeah, all good. All I've got to do now is get this blood down onto here, and then start sticking the base pieces on. Not far from the end now. Excuse me. This rusty piece of metal, I'm thinking, is just too close in colour to him, so I'm gonna just dry brush some metals on that. And all I've done on the back is stuck that rusty wheel there. So yeah, all I've really got to do now is just put the cocktail stick fence posts in, some barbed wire around it, a few little more bits and bobs, and then use some of that mud material, and then I'm done. So I'll return with him finished. Well, this is fun. I'm enjoying doing this. I didn't mean that sarcastically. It is fun. So yeah, this is just miniature barbed wire, and what I'm doing is, as you can see here, I wrap it once around this stick, glue it in place with super glue, and then go around. You have to use tweezers for it. Go around, wrap it around the next one, wrap it around the next one, and like so, making sure to that the wire isn't absolutely 100% level, and we've got a bit of sagging going on. And also what I'm doing with this final one is I'm just going to wrap it around these two, so it's snapped off at some point. All right, so that's really good. I'm enjoying that. And once I've painted and rusted them, I'm just going to get some of that mud texture stuff and slop it all around, and then we'll almost be done. So, oh yeah, one last thing I want to do is put gloss varnish on the intestines to make them stand out more. So yeah, I think I will return with him all done. So here we go then. I finished him off with the gloss varnish on the intestines. The barbed wire is done. I was going to make the barbed wire a lot rustier than that, but I thought everything would just blend in. So I've dry brushed, I painted the metal, gunmetal, washed with Nuln oil and dry brushed with silver, because I really wanted that to stand out a bit. Otherwise it would just merge into the darkness behind it. And then I got some of the dirty down gore for some gore on the barbed wire. So there he is. That's him done. He has been an awful lot of fun. Really enjoyed this fella. And I'm just about to embark now on his boss, the very last figure in the Black Grail faction, which is the Lord of Tumors. So stand by and look out for that shortly.